Hello, everybody. This is Racquel Palmese, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. It's good to be with you all. I am starting to do more and more work here in my healing studio. It's really good to be back here. You folks have been keeping me company in various parts of my house, my bedroom, my living room, and all kinds of different places. So here we are. This is where I usually work. And there's my table, let's see, there, which has seen many interesting releases and receivings and beautiful spiritual connections happening here, and all kinds of amazing growth over the last 17 years or so in this location. Many dear hearts have given me tokens of their love, crystals, and that beautiful painting is from my dear heart, Socorro Diaz. So I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for joining me very much. I am beginning to work in person with people after about a year of not being able to do any of it. So we're just a little bit at a time. It feels really good to be back here. So with that, I am breathing into the energy field that is this sacred spot, this sacred bit of land, this building that has seen so much incredible work and growth, has been a temple. Even though it's used to be an office building, now it is definitely a temple here. So things are what we make them to be, aren't they? So here we are. Hi, everybody that's coming on with me. It's good to see you here. Yes. Life can get very tricky sometimes, can it? We think we're going one way and we realize we're actually going the other way. We think we're headed towards something and we're actually backing off from it. One minute we feel we have a strong direction, and the next minute we feel nothing but confusion and what was I thinking? Sometimes a new relationship feels like it was just made in heaven, a soulmate. And the next time you see that person, it might be, I don't get you. Things can shift. And it seems like right now, things are shifting more than ever. The sand under our feet seems to be wearing away, and we're left not feeling like we have solid ground to stand on often. There's a lot of questioning of things that were very stable and structured in our world, in our culture, in our country. Now, all of it seems up in the air and being questioned, right down to the sovereignty of our elections. People that we trusted suddenly are not being so trustworthy. All these institutions, all school has things that school is something that was just full of rites of passage for our kids, for ourselves, and suddenly school went away for a whole year, just coming back. So feeling with you into this very moving field that we find ourselves in now, and how do we find our footing in it? I can't pretend to have any easy answers to any of that, because we're not meant to answer it right now. We're not meant to find those answers. We are meant to gain a certain kind of agility, a certain kind of flexibility that allows us to move with the waves of energetics and of circumstances that are in motion right now. We're being asked to be able to move with them and not to try to reclaim something that used to be. Many of you have heard me say this before, that as I get older, what I notice in my peers, in people that are my age, is very often they keep trying to reclaim the life that they know. They get stuck in a past that probably never actually existed the way our memory says it did. So I made a vow a long time ago that I was never going to stop being available to life. That I was never going to stop learning how to shift, how to move with what is. And that honestly has taken me to some fascinating places. It has taken me into thoughts, into reception of energetics that I never knew could ever be available to a human being. And then, bang, it asked me to change again, and again, and once more, to not just intellectually, but in my whole being, remain curious, remain in inquiry, not needing explanations. Not needing to know, becoming comfortable in the unknown more and more all the time. And as I face this third trimester of my life, there is more and more unknown on me. Will I be able to do the same things that I am used to doing? How much longer can I run up in the hills for 4 miles? Hopefully for a really long time. Maybe not. And I have to be able to move with what is moving in me and what is moving around me. In order to do that, I have to be able to let go of a lot of things that I always thought I knew. A lot of things that I depended on to know how to think through something. My challenge has been to keep it fresh, to start every day in even every moment or every event in my life, like right now, as if it's a brand new thing that I never did before, knowing that enough of the information that I need to make it work technically will be there for me. I've got that. I don't need to worry about that. And I've got help for that. But really, to treat the moments in my life without having to associate them to something that I've already experienced. Oh, this reminds me of that. So I walk into this healing studio, I bow, I surrender to whatever exists here for me in this moment. This moment is brand new. This client that comes to see me, even if we've worked together for years, some people for decades, even if that's the case, that this is a new session, brand new, energies are shifting, nothing is the same. Nothing. And if we can allow ourselves to open to this potential, that everything is in constant refreshment, that everything is in a state of change, including everything going on inside me, that means that I'm open to healing, that I'm open to not identifying with whoever I thought I was yesterday. So how to do that? What are the mechanics of being able to live in a constant state of renewal? How do I look at my children fresh every day? How do I not judge those that I love and know by what I've always known about them? How do I let go of my preconceived notions, identities, beliefs, ideas? How do I let go, honestly, of whatever emotional damage that keeps me stuck? We talk a lot about letting go of these things, and it's true, we need to. We can breathe, we can feel the release of energy stuck in our bodies, trapped in our bodies. Very powerful, especially when we breathe into it at the moment that something is triggered in us. Take a moment before we react, take a breath, and then we can often shift and release the charge of it. But the deeper work is actually learning how to honestly, once and for all, be able to let go and move on. So these are usually the big issues of our life. Often they're things that we came into this life to heal here. For me, my biggest issue was always fear. I was a really scared kid. I was a scared teenager, and I was a scared adult, and thankfully I found the work and the teacher began to help me face into that fear. And when I recognized that there were elements of fear that I would be working on for the rest of my days here, I became grateful for the opportunity. And I found the people that would help me release it out of my body, and doing that work of finding that stuck energy, this sometimes very painful body work that would help me release. My beautiful teacher, Charles, teasing it out of me, confronting me with what I was afraid of, and all the tears and all the tremendous flows of somatic releasing would follow. And I would feel lighter, and I began to know that the way out of this is to step out and keep pushing the edge of fear. But here's the biggest thing. Here's the thing that I finally discovered, is that there was a part of me that even while I was in the midst of the heaviest releasing I've ever done, there was a part of me that was actually holding on to the fear. I didn't know it. And you probably don't either. That as much as you wish this stuff away, as much as you try to use your breath and your being, and you show up at workshops and teachers and whatever to try to release, and you feel some release, and you feel so good, and you step out and you try something new in life, and all of a sudden here it comes creeping back again, and we've recreated it. So my beautiful beings, we have to look deeply inside ourselves and see our need to actually hold on to it, to hold on to these patterns, even when we hate them, even when we think we're doing everything in our power to let them go. There they are, creeping back again. Why are we holding on like security blankets to these old ways of thinking, of being. Why do I need to be scared? Why do I need, well, I don't, but someone I'm working with right now is working on this busyness, this incredible busyness, mental busyness, life busyness, pouring stuff in, pouring impossibility, and the stress that sets up in the body can make us sick, and will eventually. Stress will take its toll. So as this person is releasing so beautifully, looking at this, calling themselves out on, oh, here I go again. I just took on this other job now. What am I doing? And in real world, real life, letting go of these things that are piling on and experiencing a lot of deep damage to the emotions and to the nervous system of that busyness, of that running so fast away from ourselves. And still, the moment this person looked at their need to stay busy, that shifted everything. She took responsibility for identifying with the overactive mind, that extreme goal orientation, the never being satisfied, never feeling good enough, never feeling worthy, have to keep achieving, have to keep going for it. So that even if we physically force ourselves to stop, we're still addicted because something in us still needs to be there. It's the devil we know. So looking inside at what we're holding on to, even as we're trying to let go. Person's working on their anger. I don't want to get angry at my kids. They breathe, they release the anger, they take 5 before they react. They're doing so good. But the anger, the frustration is still inside them. That self-righteousness that can come with anger. You're not respecting me, kind of stuff. That's still there. And that person believes in the truth of it. That they're not being respected, that they are being asked for too much, that they blah, blah. What do you believe in that are keeping these patterns in place that are limiting your experience of life and keeping you stuck? How do you really, truly identify yourself? And are you willing to take this deep dive into the very core of your being and watch yourself hold on to the very things that you find so out of alignment in your life? Are you willing? Let's do it together. Let's do it together, and let's come to a new place. Let's not be worried about losing these old identities, these old beliefs, just because we don't have something to replace them. Believe me, you don't need anything to replace it, because when we don't try to replace it with anything, that's when we're open to where I started this whole talk. That's where we're open to the agility and flexibility of moving with the flows of life and what's actually calling us to a bigger love, a bigger experience. to be able to open our hearts fully. That's all we want, isn't it? To be safe with an open heart. All right. I think that does it for the moment. I wish you peace, and I wish you growth. I wish you evolvement at this really interesting time on planet Earth. I wish you connection with all these higher energies. I wish that you notice presence in your life as often as possible. All right, my friends, I will see you next Wednesday. Mahalo, Carol. Thank you, everyone. Blessings. Bye.